Did you know that right now, you all have a DIY project that's much bigger than your home? It's called your life's legacy. It's how you and I will be remembered. It's how people will think about you throughout the course of your life. And just like that show, each of us can potentially wreck something. But it's much greater than any home. Each of us has the potential of wrecking our life's legacy or having too small of a vision for our life. As I said, I turned 42 in June, and I've been asking myself this question: how can I leave a legacy that lasts? How can I leave an impact on my kids' lives that will go beyond my life, that will really be important, that is the right legacy? How can I leave an impact on this church? Because I'm just one member of it. I have a certain role and a certain influence, but I'm just one member, and you're one member. And how can you leave an impact on this church and this community that goes beyond us? And so I've been wondering today, even if you would reflect on your own journey with me about what kind of legacy you'll leave, what kind of legacy your life will make. Now, here's the thing I've learned about legacy as I've been thinking about it the last couple weeks, is you will never feel an urgent need about your legacy until it's too late. You and I will never feel a feeling of urgency about your legacy until every decision that was critical in your life has already been made. And then it's too late. And so you might not feel an urgent need to leave a legacy today. It might be, a young adult, and you might be like, Aaron, this is so not for me today. You won't feel a need for a legacy. But one day, you will hope that your kids will think the best of you. You might not feel an urgent need for a legacy today, but one day, you will hope that people knew that you lived for a cause that was greater than yourself. And one day, no matter if we're feeling it today, no matter where we are in the journey of church and faith and Jesus, you will hope that if this is your home church, that this church will have changed people's lives through the message of Jesus. No matter what. Brothers and sisters, if good prophets and godly kings can misinterpret and confuse what God wants, how much more is it true for you and for me, right? Like good people, you're all good people. Good people in this room can misinterpret and confuse God's will. And specifically, I can so easily misinterpret what I think God wants for my life when it comes to my legacy, to what will impact people and leave a mark for my whole life. You're going to be tempted to think that an achievement or a title or I think how much wealth is in a bank account or how much wealth we pass on to somebody else, which is great and good, that's going to be the legacy that lasts. But no child has ever said about their dad, my dad was great at answering email, right? No child has ever said on Mother's Day, my mom was great in getting back to her customers. You see, career achievements, wealth, those things will leave a legacy and they are important, but they are like second, third, fourth, fifth tier down the road. And if we're confused about what will leave a legacy, like David got confused. He thought the temple was going to be it. He misunderstood God's priorities for his life. Leaving a legacy is not a mystery. How you leave a legacy is this. A legacy is a summary of how you used every day, every hour, of every week, of every month, of every year, of every decade of your life. At the end of your life, all those decisions of what you did leave a mark on the people around you. That's what your legacy is going to be. And we will be tempted to think, oh, this is what's going to leave a legacy, but we can't get confused about what the Lord really wants. And so in verse 6, God actually corrects what Nathan and David are going to do. He says this. This is kind of humorous. Like the Lord has a sense of humor. Y'all know that, right? This is what he says, verse 6. Wherever have I moved with all the Israelites, did I ever say to any of their leaders whom I commanded to shepherd my people, why have you not built a house of cedar? The Lord's basically like, Nathan and David, did I ever tell you to build me a temple? Like, I didn't even want that. You didn't even talk to me about that. Like, you guys had this little like meeting, and then you went out with your hammers to begin, and I don't even care about a temple right now, okay? You know, like, so we better make sure that whatever we put our hands to, that God has said to do that. Like, if you have a job, no, if you have a second or third job, it's the second or third gig. It's the side gig. You know about the side gig? You better make sure the side gig is from God. Because the side gig is going to take away from family, kids, your faith community, making disciples. And I know making a living is really important, but those kinds of decisions are the ones that sometimes we have to double check to make sure, God, have you told me to do those things? We have to make sure that we've heard from the Lord to do the things he wants us to do, because the legacy we leave will be accumulation of all the decisions we made with our time over the years of our life. I feel like a heaviness is in the room right now. And I say that because I love you, because I meditated on this passage for over a week, and I'm like, oh my word, this is real, this is live for our lives. But there's a lot of grace in it. So the first point for us in this is this, that leaving a legacy that lasts means giving our time and attention to the right things. That's what it means, and just having the right priorities, that we know what the second, third, fourth, fifth tier things are, and we keep those things in line.